Oh my God, I thought that when you have the baby, the breast milk would just come out. Because I had these big boobs and I was thinking that it's gonna be filled with the milk, like a whole milk factory. And this, my daughter is 8 now, so this video is 8 years in the making. And I take the drugs. Don't be a hero. Take the drugs. Oh my God, appointment. Because Germany is really termin land, so appointment. So I was under this sorry assumption that all countries are the same, like all European countries are the same. Once you've been to one, you've already been to all of them. And then also I just assumed that everybody spoke English, even for like 24 hours, and the baby wasn't coming. And they were like, okay, we're gonna do a C-section. I'm like, no, I can't push, you know. And I mean, hey friends, hello everyone. My name is Mama Denta, African Mummy in Deutschland. I'm here to do some real talk. I hope you're ready for this. I'm going to share with you all my experiences about being a single mom here in Germany. A new single mom actually. I hope you're ready for this. This is like some real talk, like some real serious talk. Most of the things I'm going to talk about are personal experiences. I'm going to talk about what I would have done, some advice, some information, some tips, just everything that I felt that I needed to know, every experience, everything. I'm just going to open up and be real. And this, my daughter is 8 now, so this video is 8 years in the making. And I don't think I would have done it any better if I had done it before, because with hindsight I can see everything properly, and I think it would have been too emotional and too raw for me if I had done it like earlier. So if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. A lot of these issues I talk about, they're trigger warnings. They're also very, very emotional. So we have a support group, African Mummies in Deutschland. So if you are in a similar situation, you can contact me, or you can join our support group for help and information. Now, I just wanted to clarify, in all intents and purposes, when I first came to Germany, I was a married woman. I wasn't expecting to be a single mom. I was happily married and everything. But with what happened, I would say I was a single mom from day one, because my husband was always traveling and never available. So yeah, that's a topic for another day. So everything that most of the things I went through alone. So basically this is something that I really want to talk about. I was also coming from a background where I had a really great job, and I was earning really a lot back home, and I had traveled to other European countries, so I was under this sorry assumption that all countries are the same, like all European countries are the same. Once you've been to one, you've already been to all of them. And then also but also traveling, coming to a European country as a tourist is very different from coming to come and stay. And then also I just assumed that everybody spoke English, you know. So yeah, so that was really, really difficult. So those were the first things that I just wanted to clarify before I go ahead and talk about it. So I think first things first, my realest shock was the amount of appointments. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, before you have a baby, you have so many appointments, a whole lot of appointments, a whole lot of letters. I came into Germany when I was 8 months pregnant, and so the amount of appointments and the amount of appointments, different offices and Standesamt and Ausländerbehörde, which is the foreign office, and then also the doctor's appointment. And after I gave birth, like, the amount of doctor's appointments, the amount of paperwork, and the different offices and the different office times, and I was so overwhelmed. I had no idea. I had no help whatsoever. I was super overwhelmed with the amount of offices I needed to go to, the amount of times and you see, everybody is different. Like, you see people with their small babies going, and I mean, I had just had a baby, I needed rest, but I had to go to these offices, I had to go for these appointments. I was doing everything alone. It was so frustrating, it was so depressing. So but I had this beautiful baby I needed to take care of, and it's even worse for mothers who have like premature kids, because the appointments are even much more. So with me, from the whole of the first year of my daughter's life was just full of appointments, and then I was also dealing with my immigration status, so it was just appointment. I just want to say that if you're new here in Germany, you have to know the appointments, and thank God there's internet. And my internet situation was really bad like 8 years ago. I can't describe to you. The person I was living with had no internet, no landline, and I didn't even, I got a chip that didn't have like internet access on the phone. It's a long story, but basically I couldn't ask questions. I didn't know the appointment times for the offices. I didn't know, I mean, if you're married to a German or somebody who stayed here and actually sought that kind of information, you wouldn't have a problem. But with me, my ex didn't have that information. He would travel in and come at the wrong time for the appointments, and then we'll go all the way to the offices and it's closed. I mean, something so petty like, you know, just going and checking the times, and I was always frustrated. So I think I was also shocked. I had this mentality, oh, you walk in and then you can walk in without an appointment and all those things. It doesn't work that way. Have your appointment ready, have your paperwork ready, and he wasn't doing that, and at the end of the day he was blaming me when he would come without a certain letter, or come late for an appointment and stuff like that, or come at the wrong times and stuff like that. So it was really frustrating. But have your paperwork ready, have your appointments ready, go on time, make sure you check the offices, make an appointment, because Germany is really termin land, so appointment. So for me, the appointments was a sore spot in my relationship, and it was also very, very frustrating for me as well. The other thing I want to talk about was also the whole negligence thing. You know, like, don't do it alone. I know a lot of people be like, oh, you know, I've had a baby before, I'll just go ahead and go there and just do it alone. Don't do it alone. I had a situation where my ex-husband had just traveled and I was alone having a baby, and I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know what, it was my first baby. I'm sure if it's your second or third, you would know what to expect, but I didn't know what to expect, and I was just doing this alone, and I was so frustrated. So I'll say, don't do it alone. We have the support group, like I mentioned earlier. You can go ahead and look for someone who can come there with you, you know, because especially if you don't speak the language as well, you know, it's so frustrating. Don't assume that there will be a nurse there who speaks the language and it's gonna help you and save you, you know. So I was really alone with the baby. I didn't know what to do. Like, you know, you assume that automatically when you become a mom, you just know everything about babies, and I hadn't really read up. So I'll say, don't do it alone. Try and read up, join support groups, and also speak up. If you feel like there's something wrong, speak up. Like, don't be a hero. Like, I was also caught up in this having a baby in this Hebrew way kind of thing. So when I was in labor for like 24 hours and the baby wasn't coming, and they were like, okay, we're gonna do a C-section. I'm like, no, I can't push, you know. And I mean, when I think back, I think how stupid I was, like how risky it was and everything. So I beg you, just, if something is going wrong and you've been offered a C-section, take it. And also, if you take the drugs, don't be a hero, take the drugs. Oh my God, it was super painful. It was just terrible. I was overwhelmed. So take the drugs. Don't take the drugs. And also, yeah, about having a spokesperson for you, it's very important, because I remember when I had my daughter, like, she was jaundiced, and then for the 3 days that she was jaundiced, like, nobody did anything. Like, I know she was severely jaundiced and I had to stay at the hospital, but it wasn't like they were putting her under UV light. They weren't doing anything. They were just like, oh, breastfeed her, it will go. And then the breast milk was not coming as well, so they would give me some tea. They'll be like, oh, take some still tea, breastfeed her, it'll come. So yeah, there was no breastfeeding consultant. I just didn't know my rights. I didn't know what to ask for. So I would advise that if you're going, just know your rights, you know what you're supposed to ask for. And then you're also entitled to a hebama. Like a hebama is a midwife who comes to you after you've had the baby. So please make those arrangements like earlier on to get a hebama, because like in some places it's so difficult to get one. So please do make the arrangements to get a midwife that will come, teach you how to take care of the baby, teach you how to clean the baby, teach you breastfeeding. Just someone who can be there, help you with your struggles and everything. I'm not saying that all hebamas or all midwives are perfect, but it would be wonderful to have one that would be able to help you and assist you in such a situation. And then also I want to talk about breastfeeding. Oh my God, I thought that when you have the baby, the breast milk would just come out. Because I had these big boobs and I was thinking that it's gonna be filled with the milk, like a whole milk factory, spraying milk and feeding and sustaining my child, you know, in a healthy, bouncing way. No, it didn't work out that way. I didn't even know that there's a situation where the breast milk wouldn't come, especially if you're new in Germany and there is no, and you're under so much stress. So there's a situation where the breast milk will not come, and that was my situation. It didn't come for 3 days. And the hospital just came and asked me, oh, are you gonna do natural breastfeeding? I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, fine. And it just left me there. And I was just lucky that I had a really good baby and all she would do was sleep. So, yeah, so it was really horrible. And then I had a situation where the nipples were too big for the baby's mouth, blah, blah, blah. Were too small, sorry, were too small for the baby's mouth. So I had to use this nipple aid and stuff like that. But what I would say is join a support group for breastfeeding. If you join a support group for breastfeeding, you kind of be aware and alert of all those things. And I didn't know about pumping frequently. I didn't even know I needed a breast pump, you know, all those things. Just prepare for those things. In Germany, you can rent a breast pump. You can just go with a receipt, a prescription from your doctor, and then rent a breast pump, so you don't have to buy those expensive ones. But don't use the hand pump. Look, unless you are one of those spraying moms, your hands are gonna hurt. So get the electric one. Don't feel like you're some mule, you know, like some what did I say? I mean, like, don't feel like you're some cow, like, you know, being attached with breast pumps on your udders or something. So yeah, so get the pump, electric one preferably. You can buy one, you can rent one, you know. So yeah, get all those. It's super important, and it will make your life easier. So, and then also join a support group. Thank God. I would list some support groups that I found that are really good and helpful for African moms. So I would list it in the link below. So do join a support group. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is the toxic relationships. Like, you have to be aware as a single mom. What I would say, and I was going to leave it for the last, was to work on yourself before you become a mom. Like, work on yourself and please yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. I had a problem. I was a people pleaser. I wanted to please my mom. I wanted to please my mother-in-law. I wanted to please my husband. I wanted to please everybody, you know. So I'm relatives, you know. Just be alert of toxic relationships. Now, when I talk about toxic relationships, in my case, I had like relatives here. Like, I had a relative, an auntie here, who was always telling lies about, and you find that a lot here in Germany, like telling lies about her situation here in Germany. They were living so good, her kids were lawyers, blah 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 blah. So when I came to Germany, I think she was really super panicked about, like, oh, my lies are gonna be found out. So like, I was trying to reach out and relate to her, and she was like, and then I was trying to find information. I'm like, okay, this is what is going on. Oh my God, hey, mentira, which means in my language, oh, I've never heard of such a thing. How? Really? Meanwhile, it was the same process that she passed through, and her husband had also passed through this whole asile, whatever process. So it was the same process that she passed through. in Germany here before she got her documentation and everything, but she made it seem like, oh, it's such a weird thing. So then my mom, who came when I was 3 months, when I had my daughter 3 months, she was panicked and she thought, oh my God, what's going on? This is something so terrible, something so illegal, and why is my daughter going through this process for her papers? It's illegal paperwork, you know. Just nobody really tells you about the true story here in Germany. Nobody tells you about their true life story here in Germany. So be prepared for toxic relationships, as in where people are trying to hide their true life story. So in the process of doing that, they might tell you lies, they might keep information from you, they might hide so many things. And then this goes back to, like, for example, with my relationship with my ex-husband's family, I had a situation where you know, he had some relatives here, and I didn't realize that there was some kind of family thing going on in the background. So there was like some kind of family competition. So the information they would give me was very different from the information that they would give him. And then there was some kind of, like, they're actually mischievous people that really thrive on, like, you know, misusing the situation to entertain themselves. I can't go a little bit more into that because it's very personal, but then there's a lot of competition between, like, the old bloggers, that's people who have been in Germany here for a long time, and you that you just come in new. You know, there's a lot of competition. Maybe their life did not go as planned. There's a lot of hatred, you know, there's a lot of, you know, misinformation and stuff like that. Back to the most important point that I also wanted to mention: the amount of misinformation. Like, the misinformation is crazy. Like, I'm not giving specifics because that's 8 years ago, because maybe things have changed, but then you have people who gave it like 12 years ago or something, and they're so misinformed, and then they'll be telling you all sorts of things that don't really make sense with the laws and the regulations here in Germany. So I'm so happy we have the support group. I'm mentioning my support group over and over again, so because you can ask, you can be in the group and ask somebody, and then you know somebody who currently just gave birth, and they're going to tell you, okay, this is how it went down for me, or in this chart, this is how it went down, or, you know, like specifics. But I also wanted to say, here in Germany, get as much specifics as possible. Get as much specific information as possible. Okay, if I need to do my birth certificate, where in particular do I need to go? If I qualify my child as a German citizen, where exactly do I need to go? What are they going to ask me? You know, just specific information, because there's a lot of misinformation. And then back to something that was, when we talk about the misinformation, I also want to talk about the fact that you have a situation where the money issue, you know, people just hear, oh, okay, when you give birth in Germany, you get a lot of money, you know. But this money, you know, the Kindergeld, the Elterngeld, they're all specific to your immigration status. So if your wife or your family or whoever is still in asylum, that's still going through the immigration process or asylum process or whatever, she's not going to be getting monies, you know, in quotes, about this. And also when we talk about stuff like Caritas and stuff, I remember I went to Caritas, I don't know what exactly the girl said, but then the money I was given, I think, was 120 or 180, I don't remember. But my ex-husband thought, oh, I've been given some huge amount of money and I was hiding it, you know, that kind of thing, you know. So they give you some money to take care of your child, like your first baby. In my time, it was 440 euros. But you know, if you're going to buy a brand new kinderwagen, you're going to buy this, you're going to buy that, it's not much money. So please, as new parents, get the right specific information. Don't sit there and assume that your wife has been giving lots of money. Don't sit there and assume because this person was giving money. Like, for example, the people that came before me, Elterngeld was given to them directly. But in my time, Elterngeld currently is calculated into the money that they receive from job center and blah, blah, blah. And all that Elterngeld and Kindergeld cannot be given to you if you haven't yet gotten your immigration status. So a lot of people hear this, they hear they'll be given this amount of money, they hear they'll be given this amount of money, and then you have a lot of issues with couples fighting, thinking, oh, this person has been given money and it's been hidden from them and all that. So I just wanted to say, let's be careful about that. Just be sure, you know, as a single mom, just be sure that, and then also save that money, because I mean, having children is super complicated and expensive, and you never know what might happen. So go ahead and save that money when you're given, and yeah, so that's what I want to say about the money issue. I just want to say, having a baby in Germany is gonna be the most beautiful experience of your life, regardless if you're a single mom or if you're with a supportive partner or if you have the information and support. I just wanted to share some of my personal tips, and then also my experiences, what I went through, what I learned, and also I just want to say, be prepared and know what you're going to do. So but then also, most importantly, toxic relationships, really important, because toxic relationships can ruin you. People also have ulterior motives. Information offices, appointments, always ask, and then get the right stuff that you need. You know, ask parents about their experiences, post in support groups. Okay, what did you regret most as a mom? What did you think most about being a mom? What did you need most, or what do you wish you had as a mom? And I also want to encourage you that it's not impossible to be a single mom. There's no shame in that. Just do your thing, take care of yourself, and everything will be fine. Hey everyone, I'm really glad that you joined me, and we had some real talk. And don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to doing like some more real talk with you guys about my experiences as a single mom, about my life here in Germany, about going through divorce here in Germany, and everything that you need to know about me. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop it in the comment section, and also don't forget to join the support group. So have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.